Luke on Shaman TV here with Chris Millington, so 2-1 defeat. What are your thoughts on the game?
Furious, to be honest with you, Luke. Absolutely fuming, I think. Over the course of the game, York clearly the better team first half. We were clearly the better team second half. I'd say over the balance of the attacks, I think we had the clearer cut chances. And we should have won the game. But as with Tuesday night at Rochdale, weak mentality is starting to show. I called it after the Newcastle under-21s game. There's a weakness and a fragility, and it hurts me to say a selfishness about parts of the group, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Technically, we're better than we've been in the last 3 years. Absolutely no doubt about it. I think tactically, we understand what we're meant to do. We can fix problems. The first half, we needed to remind the players of what we'd done in match preparation, of what we'd shown them to deal with York's rotations, because they didn't do it effectively in the first half. But once we'd reminded them, they dealt with it, and we became the better team. But then, that soft underbelly, it's going to get dealt with because it ain't good enough.
Because as I mentioned there, it was good defending through the opening periods. York had a couple of close chances before Jamie Cook got us in front. Yeah,
they had some good build-up play, some good box entries, but by the time they've worked the ball into our box, we've got bodies in there, and we know we can defend our box well. So we weren't that worried. It wasn't. We didn't feel under that much threat, even though they did work the ball well through the third because our press wasn't right. But then when we fixed that, we looked a lot more controlled. We looked a lot more in control, and we knew that the very vulnerable on the counter attack, the full backs are inverting and pushing on, and it leaves space down the side of the centre halves over and over again. The goal comes from that. That's where our opening occurs from, because they leave themselves so open. And listen, if we were a proper bunch of men who knew National League football, we win that game comfortably. The threat that we carried in the second half, the chances we've had, number of chances. Flowotti's had a couple, Aiden's had a couple, Jack Evans. But really, have we made it difficult for the keeper? Soft efforts on goal, and it's so frustrating because we're so close to being a good side, but now it's down to mentality. There's a weakness there, and it's going to get dealt with.
I just say in that second half we had no shortage of chances, but then a combination of either soft finishing or poor decision making at times costing us.
Yeah, sloppiness. There was some counter-attacks where the final pass was poor, was lazy, sloppy, weak. And there were some shots that were similar, can be described as any of those things: lazy, sloppy and weak. Listen, the preparation was thorough. We knew the rotations that York do. We knew the vulnerabilities. We knew how we could hurt them. We knew that over 45% of their goals in the league come in the last 15 minutes of games, so they don't stop. And yet we've not been strong enough to see out what should have been, by the end of it, let's be right, a relatively comfortable win. I think York will talk about the first half and how much control they had, and they had the ball, but I think the clear-cut chances that we've created in the second half, we really should have done a lot more with, and as a result, we're off the back of 2 games with no points, where we should have been off the back of them with at least 4 and probably 6. But really, really angry at the group. They've got to man up. There's a number of them who are hurting, and I know who they are. The likes of Jack Evans, the likes of Adam Senior, and I could name a number of others who come away and it really hurts them. And this will affect them now until the next game.
Of course, obviously injuries in the second half not helping us. I think Galvin and Cookie both forced off with one. What can you tell us about them?
Gal felt his hamstring, Cookie similar, a muscle just next to the hamstring. So we'll see how they are. But they've got 2 weeks off now, so we'll see. Well, not off, but 2 weeks without having to play. So we'll see how they progress.
So obviously 2 weeks without a game now, and then it's Woking back down here at the Shay.
It is, and listen, it'll be a very different performance. I think, you know, we've shown we can play football. We've shown we can dominate spells against good teams who are up there, and, you know, say all the nice things about York and Rochdale and Barnet when we played them, and now Solihull, you know, on the rise in the division and teams like that. And we've earned the right to be in that company because we've performed well against Solihull, Barnet, York City, Rochdale, and but we've got to do more to get the 3 points. It's frustrating to say the least, but we've got a plan, and we will make sure that that the fans don't have to endure that kind of weak mentality anymore.
Thank you for your time.
Cheers, Luke.